Have you ever seen a guy in a sports car turn into a homeless man? I spent $100,000 to learn one thing. Now, I'm going to use my extremely expensive, painful experiences to show you exactly how to blow a respectable $100,000 salary until even a homeless guy wants to toss you a couple of coins. You don't need to make crazy gambles. You don't need complex scams. You just need to execute these 10 fatal financial commands. I personally guarantee you will hit rock bottom at free fall speed, complete bankruptcy. If you are sick of predictable financial stability and want to see how deep the abyss goes, sit tight. We are going to start losing money. Step 1. Destroy your cash flow with painless spending. Want to go broke? First, fall in love with those under $10 little treats. It could be that $5 piece of junk on Amazon you just had to buy now, or the seasonal Starbucks drink that gets you enough loyalty points. Behavioral economists call this painless spending. When you swipe your credit card for a massive rent payment, your brain's cortex registers severe payment pain. But when you buy a $7 latte, your alarm system stays completely silent. This is the perfect financial bleed. Your sensitivity to your cash flow gets completely wiped out by this digital trash. In America, your mental accounting writes this off as pocket change. But do this 30 times a month and hundreds of dollars vanish. That money could have been your initial leverage in the S&P 500. Now, it's just garbage taking up space in your house and spiking your cortisol. Step 2. Inefficient saving by ignoring decision friction. To save that $3 to $5 Uber Eats or DoorDash delivery fee, make sure you stop working at the most critical moment. Spend half an hour going out to pick up your food. You think you saved money, but economists know you entirely ignored opportunity cost. Your time should be valued at your highest potential output. If you are building your career, obsessing over tiny savings is trading your golden hours for silver pennies. This habit traps you in low-end labor. People who actually understand assets pay this friction cost immediately. Then, they focus their energy where the return is higher. Step 3. Cognitive failure on autopay. Just ignore those $10 or $15 automatic renewals for Netflix, Hulu, or random apps. You think, it's not much, I'm too lazy to cancel. Finance calls this unconscious debt. Wealth accumulation is about precise control of your cash flow. If you can't even control a few bucks draining out every month, you absolutely have massive leaks in your major investment decisions. Losing this small money isn't just a math problem. It destroys your overall control over your assets. Step 4. Fake savings triggered by discounts. Want to kill your cash flow faster? Go hoard stuff at Costco or Target. When you see buy 2 get 1 free or buy 1 get 1 50% off, you must buy something you don't need just for the discount. Your brain gets hooked on the reference price. It completely ignores the actual utility of the item. This is incredibly short-sighted. You think you saved $10. You actually lost tens of dollars in liquidity. For a normal family, cash flow is the oxygen you need to turn things around. You took money that could have compounded in investments and turned it into discounted paper towels slowly expiring in your closet. Remember this, if you buy a discounted item you don't need, you didn't save 30%, you wasted 70%. These first 4 commands just bleed your wallet on a physical level. You think that's the limit of going broke? Naive. Buying a bunch of discounted junk just proves you are cheap. Now we enter the second level of bankruptcy. Let's see how you voluntarily feed your cash and energy into society's meat grinder just to protect your fragile ego. Step 5. Micro overcompensation for social validation. In American social circles, to avoid looking poor, make sure you casually order an over-budget bottle of champagne at weekend brunch. Or buy a limited edition Lululemon item you don't need just for an Instagram post. This is the status competition signal humans evolved to have. We are terrified of dropping in social rank. These tiny ego projects trigger the Diderot effect. You buy an expensive bag, and suddenly your old clothes aren't good enough for it. Eventually, just to maintain the illusion of looking middle class, you burn through all the seed money that could have actually elevated your class. Step 6. Inefficient resistance to micro rules. Try to find loopholes in tiny rules just to save a little on tolls or parking tickets. This involves transaction costs. Rules exist to lower the cost of running society. When you micromanage your fight against the rules, you pay massive psychological energy and potential credit damage. People with real asset awareness quickly pay this compliance cost. They put their energy into high-yield investments rather than wasting an entire afternoon in traffic court. All right, you've milked the delivery apps for pennies, bought your weekend brunch status, and argued your case in traffic court. Your cash flow is now officially crippled. But if you want to stay at rock bottom forever, just being broke isn't enough. These final 4 steps are the real kill shots. We are done talking about money. Let's talk about how you systematically format your brain and your future into a pile of unrecyclable garbage. Step 7. Cognitive gluttony, disguised as learning. If you feel like you aren't going bankrupt fast enough, just maintain the illusion of working hard. Spend an hour a day scrolling through finance bros on TikTok, finfluencers. Watch them point at 401k compound interest charts, but whatever you do not take a single minute to write anything down. Neuropsychologists call this pseudo-acquired satisfaction. Watching these dense videos triggers a dopamine hit, making your brain hallucinate that you are already on the path to financial freedom. This is the most insidious drain on your time asset. You invest your most expensive resource, your focus, and get zero output in return, just pure emotional value. This habit destroys your ability to take action, leaving you stuck in a delusion while going nowhere in reality. Step 8. The unconscious drain of decision fatigue. Want to make the dumbest possible choice when it actually matters? Simple. Burn all your brain power on absolute garbage. Every morning, spend 30 minutes agonizing over which bagel to eat, which hoodie to wear, or how to bypass the god-awful traffic on the 405. This is called mental interest. Your prefrontal cortex has a strict daily quota for decisions. Make a tiny choice, lose a bar of battery. Don't just think you are tired. Princeton University tore the lid off this with their research on cognitive bandwidth. Draining your bandwidth on daily trivia literally drops your effective IQ by 13 points. 13 points! What does that mean? It means when you finally sit down to allocate your 401k or make a life or death career move, your brain just crashes. On low battery mode, you are driven entirely by pure emotion, and you will step precisely into the deepest trap available. Step 9. Non-asset processing of leisure time. If you want your human capital to depreciate every single year, define resting as completely stopping all thought. Come home from work, collapse on the couch, and take a 3-hour cognitive bath in Netflix or gorge on TikTok information trash. People who actually build assets engage in productive rest. If your downtime decisions are always purely consumptive, you are depreciating your human capital every day without adding any value. Long-term, your hourly rate is going to completely stagnate as you age. Step 10. The micro-impoverishment of language. The final lethal blow comes right out of your mouth. Get in the habit of keeping these phrases on repeat. That's too expensive. I can't afford it. I have terrible luck. It's not fair. Psychology calls this a self-fulfilling prophecy. When you get used to this negative framing, your brain automatically filters out high-difficulty, high-reward opportunities. It defaults to, you can't do it. This chronic psychological conditioning breeds learned helplessness. Eventually, you aren't just financially bankrupt, you are mentally bankrupt, completely losing control over your own life. Going broke is never one massive, earth-shattering explosion. It is the natural byproduct of 10,000 tiny, mediocre, and even seemingly smart decisions stacked on top of each other. Every piece of useless junk you own and every moment you tried to be cheap bought away a piece of your freedom. Honestly, writing this makes me a little sick to my stomach because years ago, when I was stuck in traffic like a dog on the 405, agonizing over a few bucks in delivery fees, I was that exact same idiot. Now, be honest, out of these 10 bankruptcy commands, which one just hit you right in the gut? Or which one did you genuinely believe was a money-saving hack? Tell me in the comments, and let's see who the real bankruptcy master is.